found yourself, maybe during a quiet moment, or perhaps when you should be focusing on something else, just thinking, wow, I've been working, I've been learning so much, and just going through life for years, but but I still don't quite know what I'm truly good at, or even what my next step should be. If that sounds familiar, you're absolutely not alone. That incredibly relatable, sometimes puzzling, but very human feeling is exactly where this podcast, Still Becoming, began. It's a feeling I've carried and one I'm ready to explore. I'm Sham. Let's be honest right from the start. I don't have all the answers, not even close. But here's what I do have in abundance: a genuine curiosity, a commitment to honest conversations, and a firm belief that growing and evolving is a continuous journey, not a fixed destination. And that curiosity, that's our starting point for this adventure. So let's get comfortable because that's where we'll begin together. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how my own still becoming story got started over a decade ago. I began my professional career in the call center industry. Like many people, I actually started from the very bottom as an agent. So, no fancy titles, just taking calls and learning the ropes one conversation at a time. Over the years, I was fortunate enough to advance through different roles and responsibilities. Looking back at it now, it was more than just a job. It was truly an insightful and eye opening experience for me. It taught me so much about connecting with people, solving problems under pressure, and just adapting to constant change. Beyond my work life, there's another part of my experience that might actually resonate with you. One of the things I can count on always at the end of each day is for my family members to come to me and just talk about their day. My sister, who works at a high school, she often comes home with stories about frustrating situations. And then, of course, there's my younger cousin, who's currently navigating high school. She'll share all the interesting drama happening in her classroom. And naturally, she always wants my opinion or advice. I've always been that person for them, the one who listens, offers a different perspective, or simply provides emotional support without judgment. And it's really ironic that for so long, so many people, friends, family, even colleagues, have trusted me with their personal stories, the good, the challenging, and everything in between. And they open up about their hopes, their frustrations, their dilemmas. And yet, for the longest time, even to this day, I'm left with my own thoughts, still wondering what my story truly is. What's my purpose? What am I really meant to do? That internal question, uh, that type of quiet seeking, it has been a consistent companion on my own journey of still becoming. That persistent question, what's my story? What's my purpose? It really became louder during moments of transition in my life. Those times when you're momentarily between big things. I'd find myself spending a lot of time wrapped up in my thoughts, constantly trying to plan the next move. Always, always trying to identify my talents and find my purpose. I ventured into a different side of blogging, dabbled in trading, and I even attempted selling various items online. But to be completely honest, I never found lasting success in any of them. And when I reflected on those experiences, my immediate, almost automatic response was to blame myself for the failures. I tell myself, see, Sham, you're just not good at anything truly tangible or remarkable. And sadly enough, I believed it. But, this time around, something shifted. After years of that self blame, I decided to try and gain a different perspective. I started thinking, if I've been successful in my jobs, I've consistently received multiple awards and promotions, then I must be good at something. But what? It wasn't something easily seen, like a product I created or a service. It felt intangible, like trying to grasp smoke. So I began a different kind of reflection. I started carefully writing down the qualities that genuinely made me good at my job, the things that truly allowed me to excel. It wasn't just about the task, it was about communication skills, how I connected with people, navigated difficult conversations, or explained complex processes clearly. It was about team leadership, how I guided and supported others, fostering a positive work environment. My problem solving skills, which, showed my ability to analyze issues and find practical solutions. Was also about my adaptability, how I quickly adjusted and thrived amidst constant change, and also my empathy and emotional intelligence, which was my capacity to understand and respond to the unspoken needs of others. And beyond these, like the very systems that I've worked with and now know inside out, the certifications that I've earned, these are all skills. So when I began to view my life, my experiences, and even my past attempts from this perspective, like it became really clear I do have valuable strengths. They just needed to be seen differently, perhaps presented in a new way. So this realization, this personal shift, was really a catalyst for still becoming. I understood that I'm far from alone in this feeling. There are so many people just like me, perhaps feeling a bit stuck or unseen. People who are intelligent, capable, but just can't quite articulate their value or their next step. They're at a crossroads, wondering, what now? They might not even be able to imagine the next phase. And the wonderful truth about it is you're not starting from scratch. You're simply in a new period where it's time to repackage what you already know, who you already are in a different way. That's why I ask myself, who can benefit most from my lived experiences? And what problems can I possibly help them to solve? Because ultimately, still becoming isn't about getting everything perfectly right on the first try. It's about cultivating the courage to keep going, to stay curious, and most importantly, to stay open to who you're truly meant to be, even when the path ahead isn't entirely clear. So, what is this podcast still becoming truly for? Think of it less like a lecture and more like a warm, honest conversation. It's for the people who feel a bit stuck in life, maybe in their career, either in a specific phase, or even a limiting mindset, but who have that deep, quiet longing for something more, something that feels more authentic and aligned with who they are. It's for those of you who know you are smart, capable, and probably achieving a lot by external standards, but you're simply just tired of not feeling truly recognized for your unique strengths, or perhaps tired of not recognizing them clearly yourselves. And it's especially for anyone who find themselves in a season of quiet reinvention. If you're like me, you're actively planning and shaping what you want for your future, and it's likely very different from what you envisioned 5 or 10 years ago. You're not looking for grand gestures or loud declarations. You just want to see consistent, meaningful progress in the right direction, even if it's just one small step at a time. So, here on Still Becoming, we're going to dive into conversations that are essential for this journey. We'll talk about those crucial soft skills that truly make us valuable. Skills like empathy, effective communication, and adaptability. These are often overlooked, but are so important for navigating any path. We'll explore identity shifts that happen when we take life's unexpected turns, or when you simply outgrow who you once were. We'll discuss boundaries, both personal and professional, and how they empower our sense of self. We'll look at what it means to remain valuable and relevant in a rapidly changing world, especially with the rise of AI. And crucially, we'll cover how to embrace the idea of starting over, whether it's a career, a passion, or even a new perspective. All of this without burning yourself out in the process or damaging important relationships. So, what can you expect from Still Becoming? Each week, you'll find a new episode. Sometimes it will be just me sharing my own reflections and insights on a topic. Other times, we'll tackle your questions in Q&A segments. creating a shared space for our curiosity. The content itself will vary. Sometimes it will be very practical, offering tangible tools or frameworks you can apply immediately. Other times, it will be more emotional and philosophical, inviting deeper introspection and understanding. Now, this isn't a show where I stand on a platform and tell you what to do. Not at all. It's a space where we collectively pause, where we thoughtfully unpack the complexities of life and self, and where we gently practice becoming together. It's about recognizing that growth is a shared journey and no one has to go through it alone. So, if anything you heard today resonated with you, if a particular thought sparked a moment of recognition, please consider sharing this episode with someone else who you know is in a period of transition or who is quietly rebuilding their own path. Your recommendation could be exactly what they need to hear today. And if you've got a question that's been on your mind, perhaps one you've been a bit hesitant to ask out loud, I invite you to send it to me. You can do so anonymously. I'll provide the details on how to do that in the show notes. Your question might just be the inspiration for an entire episode, helping not just you, but countless others who are on their journey of still becoming.